Hi everyone, Pastor Winston. Hey, we're doing Matthew 7, verse 12 today in the Sermon on the Mount. It's a famous verse. I know you're going to recognize it. It's called the Golden Rule. Now, not everybody expresses it the same way. In fact, if you go around the street and you ask people, what's the Golden Rule? Most of the time, they'll express it in the negative. But Jesus put it in the positive, and that has a significant impact for us. I just want to go into that a little bit today. So we're going to take a look at the Golden Rule. Let's just see what it says. So the first thing I have to do is I have to decrease myself in order that he may increase. And we'll take a look at the rule right here. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. And so this word "so" sort of looks back, if you will. It's kind of like a therefore. So you have to ask, what's it there for? What's it referring to? What's its referent? Well, it could be to the immediate preceding verse, which talks about prayer and the generosity of God and prayer, where he says, ask, seek, knock, and you will receive. Just this wonderful generosity of spirit that's there. Well, that's one possibility. Another one that might go back to the judgment statement. Don't be so critical. There's a certain generosity with that of love and respect for another. Take the log out of your own eye before you try to remove it from someone else's eye, a speck from their eye. So the other thing that's really sort of interesting here, it could reference all the way back to the love your enemies. Interestingly enough, in the Gospel of Luke, in the Sermon on the Mount account that he gives, he puts the Golden Rule right after the love your enemies command. But this verse has been interpreted in negative ways for centuries. As early as 20 BC, you have the story of two rabbis, the Rabbi Shammai and the Rabbi Hillel. And they have a student. The student is saying, teach me the whole law while standing on one leg. And Shammai said, no, thank you, and dismissed the student. And Hillel said, okay, all right. He says this, what is hateful to you, do not do to anyone else. That is the law and the prophets. Well, when you think about it being expressed in that way, as opposed to what you see on your screen, that's very contrarian. It doesn't have a lot of love in it, right? It just talks about hate and don't and everything. And so Jesus comes along and expresses it. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Albert Edersheim, who wrote a book called The Life and Times of Jesus the Messiah, he expressed it. He said that this verse is an expression is the nearest approach to absolute love of which human nature is capable. But there's another aspect of this that's pretty cool. I hope you like this slide. It's kind of fun. It's also highly flexible. It can guide us very, very well in our behavior towards others. Just think about it. One sentence, right? Do to others what you wish they would do to you. Just begin to use your imagination and see what that's like. It just prevents the necessity of having to lay down all these huge rules of conduct so that we can make sure that everybody's doing the right thing. And so that is like an impossible situation. And I just want to run over to what we talked about, a week or so ago here with the 5 assumptions. And talk about imagination and send us 1,000 points of personal contact. And you remember those 5 assumptions? Well, what I've combined those with was the forward policy manual. Use your best judgment. So, as the assumptions being, people will almost always do what they believe is right. They don't want to fail. They want to make a difference. They want to grow personally. And they need and will respond to encouragement. So therefore, the policy is use your best judgment on things. And just imagine how all that can work together in the spirit of the golden rule is just amazing, folks. Just think of it. I'd like you to see how they can work together. Send me some examples of what happened when you thought that before you entered into a situation. And think of this as encouragement. In the 5th Beatitude, it says, blessed are the merciful, right? I mean, chapter 5. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. How about it? Use your imagination. Risk it all. And in this way, fulfill all the law and the prophets have commanded. Have a great week. Thank you so much.